Today I'm going to tell you guys a little story about how I met Camila Cabello in Tokyo. I didn't know where to start and it had been a while, so yeah, this is a clickbait, I promise. Today I'm going to tell you guys a little story about how I met Camila Cabello in Tokyo back in February. My family and I took a short trip to Tokyo from the 29th of January to the 1st of Feb. Seeing as I didn't really get to do the things I wanted to do during the first 2 full days there, I ended up going out on the 1st, and although it was kind of a mistake or kind of a bad thing, it ended up being a happy accident. My initial plan was to get octopus balls at or near Takeshita Street and then walk around the Meiji Shrine and Yoyogi Park. But seeing as it was raining that day, I ended up going to this ramen place for lunch instead because I wasn't appropriately dressed and didn't want to get hypothermia. So from one of the stops, I can't remember if I went to stop 7 or stop 2, but I ended up at the wrong stop, and then when I was going out of the station, I ended up near some sketchy alleyway. And honestly, when you're in Tokyo, don't go to the super populated areas, go to the sketch-like alleyways because that's where you'll find the best food. No joke. Speaking from experience, so I ended up going to this ramen place near Fridays. Yeah, somewhere in Omotesando, I ended up going to this ramen place and I had lunch there. It was really good, but I felt really disgusting after because the food was really salty and rich. From there, I ended up taking a train to Shibuya and crossed over to the Shibuya 109, which is a 9-story building full of independent shops and some food stalls. 6 floors comprise of independent shops, and then the rest are like food stalls and such. I ended up going to all 9 floors actually, and on my way down, I think I was on the 5th floor, I went into one of the shops because I was looking at this really cool vintage jacket, and it was the nicest vintage jacket I've ever seen. Yeah, I see this girl and I was quite shocked because she looked exactly like Camila, but I wasn't sure if it was her or if it was some doppelganger. So I left the store maybe like 5 to 10 minutes after getting there. I checked my phone and searched Camila's name on Google, and the first thing that popped out, I kid you not, is Camila Cabello lands in Tokyo the day after blah 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 blah. And I mean, I kind of freaked out because I was in the same store as her. I love Camila's music, she's a great singer. So I ended up at the same store as her. I didn't follow her, I swear to God, I didn't follow her. It was just by chance, and I knew I was never going to get that opportunity again. So I went up to her mom and I asked if I could get a picture with her. So while Camila was in the dressing room, I was talking to her mom, telling her where in Tokyo to go because I assumed that it was their first time there. And given that I had already been once before, back in 2014, I kind of knew which places or which spots to recommend to people who haven't been. When she got out of the dressing room, her mom spoke to her in Spanish and probably said that I wanted to take a picture with her. So we took 2 pictures together, and then we started talking. I told her I loved her music and I loved her style. She was very sweet and very friendly. So we were just talking about that for a bit. I told her that I had been wanting to see her live for the past 2 years. I had been listening to her, and she asked where I was from. So I told her I was from the Philippines, and she said she really wants to come here. And other than that, she said she was in Japan for some show. I think she appeared on 2 shows, if I'm not mistaken. And she asked me if I had heard of them before. And honestly, I'm not really into Korean Japanese music or their talk shows, so I apologized and said no because I had never heard of the talk show before, and she was like, oh yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's okay. I hadn't heard of it before I was asked to be on it, so I didn't feel as embarrassed as I did a few minutes prior. So we were talking about that, and I told her that I had been to Tokyo before, and her manager went up to me and asked me to type the places I recommended on his phone. So I did that, and yeah, we were just talking for a bit more, took 2 more pictures, and then I left because I had to finish packing and I was leaving that day. I was quite surprised to find out that she was really friendly, because ever since she left Fifth Harmony, the girl group she was a part of before, I feel like people have been, or there's been like some sort of stigma around her, and she's very nice, very sweet. She was very smiley, even though she looked pretty jet-lagged. So yeah, that's my story. Sorry, I'm a bit rambly. I didn't know where to start, and it had been a while, so yeah, this isn't clickbait, I promise. I posted pictures on Instagram, so I will link that below in case you want to see that I'm not bullshitting, photos aren't photoshopped. And yeah, that's my story. Okay, bye.